Let's talk about classroom procedures. Besides getting to know each other, the first days of school are mostly dedicated to explicitly introducing, modeling, and practicing rules and procedures. This video will go over some of the vital procedures that will be introduced, modeled, and practiced. Once your students have a clear understanding of what to do and what your classroom expectations are, the rest is easy, right? One of the first things you'll want to introduce is your morning unpacking procedure. Where do the backpacks go? Most classrooms have a designated spot for backpacks, like hooks or the back of a chair. What will the student need to take out of their backpack? For example, a lunchbox might need to come out and be placed in a certain area so that they're easy for the student to grab at lunchtime. If there's no lunchbox, do the students need to let you know if they're ordering lunch? If so, how will they do that? One easy idea is to have a system where students check in with a magnet with their name on it, or if they're pre-readers, you can put their face on it. If they're ordering lunch, they simply move their magnet over to the yes side. Will the students have a folder that goes back and forth between school and home? If so, you'll want to have a bin or special place where the folders go so students can independently unpack their folder from their backpack each morning so you can check it for notes or signed papers and send home any completed student work. After students put away their backpack, their folder, and their lunchbox, it's a good idea to have students wash their hands so they start off the day with nice, clean, germ free hands. You'll want to model and practice proper hand washing. How will you line the students up to leave the room? You'll want to go over the expectations regarding hands to self, walking feet, personal space, and the dreaded cutting in line. A suggestion would be to have a designated line leader and door holder as a part of your classroom jobs. So, first, you call the line leader and the door holder to line up and remind them to set the example for the rest of the class. As the line leader and the door holder line up, give them a specific praise that reminds others of your expectations. Something like, Susie, thank you for walking when you line up. Or Johnny, I appreciate the way you gave Susie her personal space as you lined up. Next, maybe you call students by name to line up, or by number, by table, by the color of their shirt or their pants. And then, as you get into the curriculum, you could line students up by using a certain skill, like line up if your name has 2 vowels in it. Or line up if your name has 3 syllables, or if your name has 5 letters in it. Or line up if your name starts with a vowel. Keep it fun and interesting to add some student engagement. Continue to praise students as they line up when they demonstrate your expectations. What a great class you are. Look at this nice quiet line. Or, Emma, thank you for pushing in your chair. Once your students are all lined up, sing a song or a chant that reminds them of your hallway behavior. Check out my video, Line Up Songs and Chants, for some ideas for songs and chants to say and sing as you leave the classroom. And always count your students as you exit the room to be sure that all of your students are accounted for. Next, of course, you'll want to set clear expectations for hallway behavior. Typically, students are expected to walk in a straight, quiet line, and most importantly, stay together. Students typically need a lot of modeling and practice for hallway behavior. Line up nice and early for your transitions in the beginning of the year to allow for plenty of time, just in case you need to go back in the room and reset the class before trying again. One of the very first things you'll want to go over on the first day of school is your bathroom procedures. Students need to know what to do when they need to use the bathroom. If you're lucky enough to have a bathroom in your classroom, an easy thing to do is to have a stop and go sign on the door. When the student goes in, they change the door sign to stop, and when they come out, they change it back to go so others know the bathroom is available and students can just go when they need to. You might have a hand signal like one finger up when they need to use the restroom, and you can quickly give a head nod to let them know that it's okay to go. That way, it doesn't interrupt your instruction. And of course, you'll want to discuss the importance of flushing and washing hands. Moving on to supplies. What will your procedures be for supplies? If a student needs a new pencil, how will they get one? This is another important opportunity to encourage independence with students. It not only empowers the students and makes them realize how capable they are, but it also makes your life easier so you don't have to stop your instruction every time a child needs a new pencil or a crayon. You could have an area of the classroom where you keep sharpened pencils, extra glue sticks, scissors, and crayons so students can just go get what they need when they need it. Next, how will you get your students' attention? You'll need to explicitly teach, model, and practice your attention getters. For example, to practice, tell the class you're going to have them pretend to talk to the other students at their table. And then when you say, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, they need to stop talking right away and say, 1, 2, eyes on you. Give the students that have their eyes on you big, specific praise, and the rest of the class should follow if they haven't already. Never start a lesson until everyone is quiet and ready. Then you might say, okay, pretend again to talk to your friends. And when I say mac and cheese, you stop talking right away and say, everybody freeze and have your eyes on me. Once again, lots of praise when they stop and they have eyes on you. See my other video called Classroom Attention Getters for more call and response ideas. A few other things that you'll want to think about and explicitly teach is when it's appropriate for students to get up and when it's appropriate to stay seated. You'll want to teach students what to do when they want to answer a question or ask a question. Teaching students to raise their hand quietly promotes organized discussions. You'll want to explicitly teach your recess rules and procedures, especially your rules and procedures for lining up when it's time to come in. What about your procedures for drinking water? Are students to bring a water bottle to school each day? Will the students keep their water bottles at their desk, or will they keep them in a common place in the classroom? You'll want to make sure you think about how the students will pack up at the end of the day. The end of the day can be a chaotic time, so it's very important that your students know the procedures for packing up and lining up to go home. You'll want to make the packing up routine as calm and organized as possible, so it's a good idea to stop your instruction nice and early to give enough time for students to pack up. Call students a few at a time to get their backpacks, folders, and lunch boxes. Young students might need help packing up in the beginning of the year. Once the students are all packed up, you might want to put on quiet music or a digital book if you have a smartboard, or maybe they can draw or read quietly until dismissal. The key to have a smooth running classroom is explicitly teaching, modeling, and practicing your rules and procedures. And it's very important to praise, praise, praise when you see desirable behavior. Remember that every day is a new day, and it's never too late to set up or change up your rules and expectations. Some days will definitely be better than others. And finally, remember that you are not alone. Reach out to a colleague when you need help, ask to go observe a veteran teacher, or ask someone to observe you to give you some helpful tips. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos about teaching and learning to read.